I don't you know if it starts England. Head. Come on. Go. See if I can remember how to play it.
EA Sports and the Web.com Tour proudly present opening round coverage of the Web.com Tour Championship. Action is really starting to heat up as we make our way toward the closing stretch. Let's get you out to the 15th hole. Just a mediocre first round up to this point from our featured golfer. Frank, what are some keys to making something happen down the stretch?
Well, if this is the worst score that they shoot all week, I think that's one of the keys, because this is a position to vault forward from.
Frank, there's fairway, there's rough, and then there's mulch.
Yeah, the worst thing about the mulch is all these little chips around the ball, and that's so the ball doesn't sit up. And once again, this shot might look easy, but if you just miss it a bit, it so exaggerates the outcome.
Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. Well, he'll be disappointed with that, no doubt.
Yeah, swing didn't quite look right on that one. Rich, you know, after you've already made one mistake in the rough, there's a chance he's going to make another.
Just trying to get it back out into the fairway and not make a big number.
Well, that's a smart shot. A lot of people would have tried to be a little more heroic from there, but there was no need.
Back on the fairway, back in play. Not quite where he was aiming, but still enough room to get it up and down.
Oh.
Well, once you hit double to par, it's time to just pick up and move on. Frank, I think one of the things that fans love about this gauntlet, 16, 17, and 18, each hole has that sort of hold your breath moment. Certainly 17, we know when that ball's in the air, you're holding your breath. Is it wet or dry? 16, same on that second shot. You're holding your breath wondering, where is it? Right in the water or left with a chance for 3?
That's why you don't want to get too sloppy on that tee shot. A lot of people look at 16 because there's a wide fairway and they think just get it down there.
Might need some wings just to clear this hazard.
That water is looking rather intimidating.
After hitting it in the drink, this is the 4th shot.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine. The scorecard is quickly adding up. Hazard.
Maybe wet. Wow, lucky break right there, Frank.
Well, that's what everyone else is going to say, except him. Well, that's the best that was going to be on the fringe.
Not too bad. That is professional with a capital P right there.
That's stealing.
Frank, a couple different ways to watch golf as a fan. You could follow your favorite player for a number of holes, or you can park yourself in one spot. I think one of the better ones is the hill. Frank, we've all been there. You hit one in the water, you're down. How do you regroup?
You've got to start from scratch again. Everybody's going to hit bad shots. That's just the nature of the game. But compounding mistakes, that's the problem that you want to avoid.
So, Frank, not easy to keep your eye on the target when you've just splashed down.
Yeah, but on the flip side, too, one bad shot doesn't have to lead to 2.
Not what you wanted to hear, but this is the 5th shot after the ball went into the water. Frank, I hate to go negative, but let's clear a few things up. The penalties when you hit it in the water versus hitting it out of bounds.
Yeah, some people, that's a good question, Rich, because some people think they're almost the same, but when you hit it out of bounds, you're actually losing a stroke and a distance. For example, if I'm teeing off on a par 4 and I hit it out of bounds, I'm penalized a stroke for hitting out of bounds, and I'm hitting my 3rd shot off the tee. When I hit it into a water hazard, I don't have to lose all of that distance. I can drop the ball up just short of the water hazard. So the distance penalty isn't the same as if it was out of bounds.
Number 7, and nothing lucky about this one, Frank. After hitting it in the water.
Really starting to get away from the player right now, and this is, you can just see, starting to implode.
Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot. It's that sneaky distance.
Well, Frank, he'll drop at least one shot here. That was not his best effort.
No, poor is the easiest way to put that. He knows it.
Been a rocky round. Well, that'll do it for day number 1, and a tough start for some of those who were hoping for better things.
Yeah, slow start, surprisingly, really, and hard to put your finger on why, because we saw a lot of good golf, but now, outside looking in, we'll need to play well tomorrow.
Let's go.
EA Sports and the Web.com Tour proudly present second round coverage of the Web.com Tour Championship. Moving into the second round of the Web.com Tour Championship, the fourth and final stop of the Web.com Tour Finals. And Frank, you can feel the pressure building.
You certainly can, Rich, and I expect that we're going to see more of what we saw yesterday, which is some fearless golf. And these guys are playing for a PGA Tour card, and they're not backing down.
Looks to be a good setup going into the green here at the 10th.
Well, it's going to take a good one here, considering what they've already gone through, Rich. Right now, that green is going to look very small, so it's going to take a good shot here to give himself an opportunity.
Some really poor play to this point.
Oh.
Not a problem there, Rich.
The putt. Frank, that's a par, and onward we go. Hole number 11, 558-yard, par 5. Frank, players in attack mode here.
Yeah, just try and blitz it down there. There are other bunkers on the left. This is a green light opportunity.
Good tee shot, good lie, and now a good chance to take advantage here on this hole. Second shot coming up here at the par 5.
High there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
On the green, and looking at a birdie opportunity. Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday. Well, you couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it.
Even par, currently.
That's a solid par putt. Frank, what's so much fun about TPC Sawgrass is the excitement that it generates for a fan and how many different holes there are. 12 is a good example.
Yeah, 12 looks like it's fresh from Scotland. You can see why Pete Dye spent a lot of time over there. Tee shot looks straight away, but the second shot is blind. The shot you'd get in Scotland with a wedge where you just see the top of the flagstick and you've got to really guesstimate on the yardage that you have. But a good wedge shot and someone that can judge their distance, this is certainly a birdie hole. Great drive.
Came right out of the middle of the bat. Now the approach to the 12th. Frank, what's the player looking at?
Well, it's a fun shot here for the second shot, especially if you've driven it down the right side, because then you can see the flag no matter where it is on the green.
Frank, I'm sure it feels good to get some red numbers on the card, but this tournament is probably too far out of reach at this point.
Good question.
And Frank, we always like when they have the whole location back left and that ball trickles down, feeds, and you can see some really good ones and maybe even an ace here.
Yeah, just like Mickelson a few years ago. Down there, it looked like it was going to flirt with the bunker, ran up and over the ridge, and in it goes. This is one where you have to play ground ball as well as high ball.
So a longer putt coming up next, about 30 feet away. And this would be nice. 2 straight birdies. Kind of a tricky read. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Oh, I thought he had that. Frank, let's hope he doesn't make double bogey now.
That's the saddest coming out in you, Rich.
Getting set now over the putt. Frank, nothing really went the player's way this week.
Yeah, if this was motor racing, you'd say it's a case of having 4 flat tires.
Frank, too many missed shots and now a missed cut.
Yes, it's disappointing, but the experience gained from playing this course really will be invaluable. Now's the time, just pick your head up and move forward. There's always another week.
What am I doing now? What coming event?
This is EA Sports PGA Tour coverage coming up next. Today it's live opening round coverage of the Career Builder Challenge. Wait, this could be really good, Frank.
Oh, straight at it.
Frank, not overly long, but still a pretty good spot and in the fairway.
Yeah, that's in that 280 mark.
This one doesn't look good.
There's water over there.
He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. This one just requires a little bit of focus.
Just when you think you're going to make birdie. Now, have to really concentrate on this and at least make par.
Well, not in contention, but in for par. Out to the 6th hole now, where the action is underway. Let's check in on our featured golfer. Early in the round, and playing reasonably well. Nothing great, but has certainly not given a whole lot away.
Yeah, and actually a good position to really springboard the round from here.
He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. So a long putt there and just didn't read it quite right. He has this for par. Still even par for the day. Frank, this is like a big water park here at PGA West. We saw it at the 6th, and here again at the 7th, a challenging par 4, 346 yards.
I've never, ever seen anyone try and drive this green. So it's just a layup. See the bunker down there in the distance that really is the stop sign. So something that's short of that, but really what I prefer is try and lay up on a nice number. Something that you've got a foot
in the water. Too bad. After hitting it in the drink, this is the fourth shot.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine. The scorecard is quickly adding up.
So, Frank, he'll take a drop here.
Yeah, he'll take his medicine, take his penalty shot. The hole's not over yet.
He'll need to be strong with this. Unfortunately, that ball is wet. So it's been a tough hole. Previous shot went into the water, took the drop. This now, the sixth shot. Frank, you always talk about it. Don't compound the mistakes. Well, here we are, another shot from the rough.
And this one, no easier than the one he's just hit.
Frank, how good was that just to get it on the green?
Well, from that shot there, you would have thought for sure that there was no chance he had of finding the green. That was some shot.
Well, once you hit double to par, it's time to just pick up and move on. Now we're at the 8th hole here at PGA West in La Quinta, California. 559-yard par 5. Frank, what are the options here?
A good tee shot, you can certainly reach this par 5 and 2. There's a crosswalk that comes across in that vicinity of 330 yards. That's sort of the green light area if you can get it down there. Anything short of that, it becomes very much a three-shotter. But if you can get it close to that crosswalk that goes there, then certainly this becomes opportunity knocks.
Great strike and a great result. Sitting up, good chance to attack the flag. Now the approach shot here on this par 5/8. That's a disappointment right there, Frank.
Yeah, green light special, really. Come up considerably short.
Just in the first cut of rough, not a bad lie. The only issue is he might get a jumper here. And getting ready for the putt. Chases that in for par to stay at 4 over. Frank, the par 4 ninth at 452 yards is all you want.
You could make 5 here every day just by poking it down the left side, but who wants to do that? Force your hand, try and go down the right side. You might make the odd 3, make a few more 4s, but miss it on the right, and that's where you start to make a big number.
Good lie in the fairway. Good chance to make something happen here. Well, too bad. He'll have to play from the bunker. Frank, for a long time, the stadium course at PGA West was thought to be too difficult for the professionals. How'd that happen?
It wasn't really unusual. A lot of Pete Dye courses, when they first came out, with the wooden bulkheads, so visually intimidating. It was such a departure from traditional golf design that players, they weren't very receptive to it. They thought it was too punishing, and yet now, we look some 20, 30 years later, Pete Dye's going to go down with the Mackenzies, the Donald Rosses, the C.B. McDonald's as one of the most innovative and one of the great architects that actually changed the direction that the game's gone.
Back in the late 1980s, the Tour Pros actually refused to go back to the stadium course. They signed a petition to get it removed as one of the host courses, a ban that effectively ran until 2015.